Well, good morning, USMC Ministries. I figured I'd give this a shot as I just dropped off Boaz at gymnastics and I'm pulling up to a red light. He was listening to a song this morning on Spotify, Let 'Em Go. You know, sometimes people say that I should let things go. And I do. I was talking with a chaplain friend of mine about this because a year ago I was talking with an older mentor of mine, retired Marine, who said, you're just going to have to find closure on your own because I'm not going to help you find closure here. And I'm pretty passionate about clarity and closure, and when something is confusing to me, I do seem to latch onto it like a bulldog and not let go. And there are things that we should let go, but there's also something that we should never let go. And I think it's a Matt Redman song. Christ, God, never lets go of us. Oh no, you never let go of me, right? So there's a yes and no on most things. And, you know, even though I firmly believe in absolute truth, and I think absolutism probably gets a bad rap, there are some relative things. And I'm pretty passionate about avoiding subjectivity. I love objectivity, and I try to cut through any subjectivity to get to objectivity. But with respect to relationships and challenges in life, there are times when we do have to let it go. I'll fully acknowledge that. So my son, listening to this song, it really resonated with me. And I said, are there some relationships that we shouldn't let go? And I was like, family. We should never let go of family. And I feel like some people might take this song and misapply it, but I want to apply it in the right way, in a balanced way, recognizing there's some things we should let go and some things that we shouldn't let go. So, as the light turns green and I can head home, I wanted to play the lyrical video and kind of pause it and give some thoughts as I do the screen recording. Oh, jumped on down. Here we go.
How many hours do you work out to look like that?
I don't work out.
Yeah, so how often do you meet with a dietitian?
Never.
For YouTube Premium. Let me make myself smaller.
Staring at the ceiling, trying to fight the feeling. Deep inside your heart, you know it isn't what it was. Anxiety is growing like fog over the ocean. Hoping, wishing, praying that it's gone when you get up. You could try to wrestle with the mirror, but the truth, it can't be any clearer than that. You've been fighting it off just like a fever, but there's no use holding it back. Sometimes you need the rain to know you miss the sun. Sometimes you need the pain to know it isn't love. Sometimes the one you hold,
So yeah, that all the way up until that last part, the person that you hold, sometimes you got to let them go. And I get it. You know, this is the angsty, like teenagery culture, like 20-something that this applies to. You know, breakups or whatever. The problem comes when that mindset is taken into marriage. Not uniting, serving, mentoring, counseling, trying to make men better husbands, fathers. And hopefully my 13-year-old now, he turned 13 last week, does not think that sometimes, well, woman, I held you, but I got to let you go. And unfortunately, you know, we've got people in our lives that have decided to do that. But marriage is one man, one woman together with Christ the center through his grace for life till death do you part. And we forget that in this culture. And songs like this, unfortunately, like second and third order consequence, they kind of reinforce that. There was a lie that I believed when I was growing up, that as long as I didn't cross a certain line with a girl, then I was still a virgin. And that was wrong. Like Jesus said, if you look at a woman lustfully, you've committed adultery in your heart. And when I was a teenager, I looked at women lustfully. So in heart, I was not a virgin. And I was deceived, self-deceived. And I didn't have a mentor, somebody speaking into my life saying, hey man, you think that you're pure, but you're really not. And so I struggled with purity over the years, over the decades. And finally, through the help of Pure Hearts Ministries, gained and maintained a level of purity in my life on a consistent basis through daily check-ins, which hopefully other men are benefiting from as well. So that's the first verse and the chorus. Love the range that this guy has, and here's the second verse. This isn't what you wanted, knots inside your stomach.
You wanted nuts inside your stomach. Do you have to hurt him so you don't hurt anymore?
Got a pause there. That line, oh man, it's powerful. Do you have to hurt him so it doesn't hurt anymore? Hurting people do hurt people, and that they try to take away the pain by inflicting pain on others. However, there's a second side of that, and it's that healed people can help heal others. And so if you're healed, if you've had the great physician do his work in your heart, you can be that for somebody else. You don't have to hurt somebody else when you're hurting. When you go to Christ and he heals you, you can actually be someone who helps heal others too. So
you could try to wrestle with the mirror, but the truth, it can't be any clearer than that. You've been fighting it off just like a fever, but there's no use holding it back. Sometimes you need the rain to know you miss the sun. Sometimes you need the pain to know it isn't love. Sometimes the one you hold, you gotta let him go. 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 You gotta let him go.
and that part about needing the rain to miss the sun, I mean, it's so powerful. There's rain on my windshield right now. I can't agree more. And one of the things that's lacking in Christianity is a strong theology of suffering. And we can't count it all joy when we face trials of many kinds, unless we face trials of many kinds, right? Like, those two need to go hand in hand. I also like wrestling with the mirror, like looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, this is all very helpful, very therapeutic, and people need to do this. I think oftentimes we just put it in a box and ignore it, especially guys, and we need each other to kind of wrestle through these things as well. No man is an island. No one can do it on their own. But that juxtaposition of like suffering and sadness, a chaplain friend of mine said that the happiest and saddest people on the planet should be Christians, because we know how good God wants our lives to be, and that should make us really, really happy because we have God. But we also know how far we fall short, and that should make us sad. And so happiest and saddest people at the same time. I wrote a Memorial Day blog post, sent it to a friend a while ago, shared it on my page. It was like 7 years ago, but it still resonates with me. The mixture of joy and sadness. No other ideology or world religion should have an edge over Christians in that regard, but sadly a lot of Christians haven't really fully grasped that dichotomy. All right, 21 seconds left. The way it ends is really good too, and I'll pause it and say a few last things. We'll do that again. Think about marriage here. so that's how it ends. And I've walked through this with a couple friends. Kind of tried to walk through it with my sister. I don't know if she wanted to walk through it with me, but when what hurts is the same, and when you got to leave or stay, I mean, you can't fix it. I just want to add at the end, but Christ, but God, but Jesus can. When you can't, Jesus can. And I think I don't know the background of this song. Part of me wants to assume the worst because it might be a secular song. Obviously, I'm not going to show this video to my 13-year-old because he really likes the song. But I just want to reflect on it as I drive home, and upload this to the ministry channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, my ministry channel doesn't exist to have a platform or anything. I send these videos to individuals to get feedback from them. I want to be more like Christ. I want to help other people be more like Christ. I think that the Christ in the Bible is misrepresented by Christians who should represent him well most of the time, myself included. And so if we are intentional and deliberate about doing things to be more like Jesus, including the Jesus who called people broods of vipers, whitewashed tombs full of dead men's bones, hypocrites, children of the devil, including that Jesus, not just the meek and kind and lowly Jesus who was the liberator of the oppressed, not just that Jesus, but also the one who, he spoke a little bit harshly to the woman at the well when he said, yeah, I know you're sleeping with a guy that you're not married to, and you've had 5 guys before, and it wasn't a burger. So there's that. That could have been offensive, probably was, but she got over it. She got over herself. She didn't take herself too seriously. I don't. And so that Jesus I want Christians to be like as well. And I think that Jesus would have some words about this song and be like, well, hold on. No, you actually don't got to let him go. You got to hold on. You got to hold on to me. I'll help you hold on to what you need to hold on to, and you'll get through it. So those are my thoughts as I pull back up to the house and get ready to park and start the day. God bless. I'll be in touch.